you people. I don't know how long it takes for YouTube to notify people, but we'll do what we can to get some people in here. Hopefully it won't be long as people will show up and we'll talk about this thing. I have to do my live outside. I don't get any service inside my garage. Come on now. What is going on with this tripod? You can tell I was ready for this. All right. There we go. Maybe. What's going on here? That's pretty good. So we'll take a look at this car up close here in just a minute. I still got it on the back of the ramp truck, and I did that for a reason, because if I leave it out here, we've had rain for 2 days straight. I can see that the interior is still absolutely bone dry in this car, which means I don't have any leaks, which is kind of cool. Oh, I just found some more parts. I thought I was missing. Thought I was missing the handle for the trunk lid. I just found some more parts inside the car. But anyway, I left it on. I left it on the ramp truck so that it would rain on the car, and I wanted to see if it would get wet inside, and the inside has stayed absolutely bone dry on this car. So I've got the front, the motor and all wrapped in plastic, so we won't be looking at the engine itself, but we'll walk around and look at some of the other stuff. Let me take this off this tripod right here, and we'll walk around and look at some of the other stuff on this car. Let's see here. Got a new tripod. Figuring this thing out. All right. Let's walk around this thing and take a look at some of the stuff on it. So on the outside, if you watch the video, the last full video I put up is on us going to get this car. And man, it's so awesome. Right here is really all the rust I see on the car so far. Now, I have not done a deep dive in this car. I haven't been under it. I haven't climbed all over it. So far, all the rust I see on this car is right here. Get the camera on it. Right here, these 4 or 5 little holes right here, and this tiny little hole right here. You can see it's about the size of your fingernail. That's all the rust I have found on the car. The steps and all are in great shape. Oop, I was wrong. There's one tiny little, oh, you can't see it, it's right there. Doors shut phenomenal on this car. You can just push them and they latch solid. A little dent right here. It's a pretty doggone good car. If you watch the video I done, I just kind of throwed this front clip back on it, this tilt front end back on it, because I don't plan on keeping this nose. Yeah, the strawberry blonde girl. You talking about the one in my intro? That must have been the lighting. She's all redhead. That's my daughter. But the front clip I just throwed back on this thing because I won't be using it the way they've cut it to make the tilt front end and all. I don't really like that, even though it is part of the car. Model with a transverse leaf spring front forward 9-inch under the back of it. They've put these, I don't know if you see them sticking down there, these longer hangers on the front of it, and there's a couple of holes in there so they can move these springs up and down. It is an older 9-inch. You can tell that because it has the smooth domed back in instead of the bumped out. I don't know what year they changed that, but I know 63 it was still round like that, because I've got a couple of 63 9-inches around here. This is kind of funny to me. At some point in time, they put a lock in the original gas cap. I don't know why you do that. It's actually not even locked right now. That's the first time I've opened that door. Okay then, I hadn't even opened that before. It's a pretty cool old car, honestly. The interior, I've left it, as I said earlier, I left it out here so that I could see if it leaked. It's rained on it for 2 days now, and it's dry as a bone inside. There used to be a roll bar in this thing. You can see under here they've cut the roll bar out and put a piece of plate over it. There used to be a roll bar in here. They've cut it out. The dash, I have come to find out, I had only seen the 48 dashes with the chrome on them. Apparently you could get them in 2 different options, with wood or with chrome. This one has the wood, and you can tell over the years that the weather has not been, or the age has not been great for the wood. It's actually paint that's flaking off of the wood. Why it was paint, but that's what it is. I could buy a reproduction kit for that wood and put it back so that looks nice, or I can buy the metal kit. Either one, they're easy to come by. But for the most part, the car is solid. I mean, even these doors, the bottoms down here are not rusted out. They're solid. See if I can get you over in here. They're solid in there. The doors are good. It's got the old Hurst yo-yo shifter in it, as they call it. It's really, really a good car. I think, I love how these doors just shut. I think one of the worst parts on a car, some people may disagree, is how this old glass just delaminates. It's not cracked or broken there, it's just delaminating. I probably won't even touch those. Now, one of the glasses on the front, this front glass over here, I'll have to do something about that because it's busted, but it's not leaking. That's the positive. It's not leaking. I'm not real sure what this is. This looks like an antenna right here. So what would this be for? Did the antenna have 2 mounts on it? I don't know. I don't know these cars well enough to know that. I do know every piece of trim I have, every piece of trim for this car. How you doing, Mama M? Are you keeping the small block Chevy in it? Well, the small block Chevy in the car is a, right now I'm gonna say yes, I'm keeping a small block Chevy. I wish it hadn't been raining, I'd pull this tarpaulin all off and show you. If you've watched the full video, it has this crazy transmission in it that people used to refer to as like a torque flight. It's basically an automatic, but it has a clutch pedal. And I'm so intrigued by that because I've never seen one in person, that I want to get it running the way it is, and then experience this transmission. After I get it running the way it is and experience this transmission, then there may be some discussion on what to do after that. You're right, it's flat glass, no big worries. Oh, what she said. Yeah, I agree. It's all flat glass, so it shouldn't be that hard to go to any glass place and get them to cut me a piece of glass. And I'm fortunate. This is one of those cars that decent. I can't get all that stuff, but to my, all the trim that goes on this car, he had it all and included it with the car, and you can see it piled right over there. So I have all the trim pieces, including the tail light bezels and all. So I don't think I'm missing anything other than maybe the tail light lenses themselves And across both of these 48s that I've got, the other one sitting up there and this one, I don't have the chrome ring that goes around the headlights. I think that's really the only pieces that I'm missing in itself. I'm trying to keep up the comments here. Um, yeah, I'm right now, because supposedly this was a running car. I want to get the engine up and running, and I want to experience that transmission, just see what it feels like. Now, at if any point there's something wrong with the engine or that transmission just doesn't work or anything like that, I don't have really any Chevrolet stuff laying around, but I got plenty of Ford stuff laying around. You know what I mean? So at that point in time, then there may be another discussion about what goes in it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Auto Hunter. Appreciate that. Um, I think it's a pretty solid car, and I think it's a pretty awesome car. I'm pretty stoked on getting the opportunity to work on it. I'm gonna have to find some seats for it, but I'm probably gonna do something simple like some low back bucket seats. Nothing, nothing over the top. I think this is going to be a lot of fun playing with this car. I'm fortunate enough that the color and all on that car, the patina on that car matches this one enough to where I just stick the front clip off of that one onto this one and solve that problem. When am I taking the Galaxy out? Whenever, whenever the weather cooperates. I feel like it rains all the time lately, and especially on weekends. I just come out and do this live in between rain showers here. It's rained so much that I actually have a sump pump and I went mind blank, like a ditch dug in front of my shop. A French drain. I have a French drain and a sump pump at my shop, and the sump pump's been running just because it's been raining so much. This is a pretty solid car, and I'm glad we got it. With only like 4 little tiny pinholes of rust on the car, uh, it's a great score for an 80-year-old car. Um, it's a car that really doesn't need anything but what it needs. So we're pretty happy to have this car, and pretty excited to get to carry on the history that is this car. If you've seen the video where we got the car, then you know this car was built in the late 60s, and the man kept it into his 80s where it was sold, and at an estate sale to the guy I got it from. And the guy I got it from said he tried to start the car, but he didn't understand. He didn't understand how to start these old cars. I appreciate that, Command the Field. I appreciate that. Yeah, most you'll see here is Ford. There's a few others thrown in, but that's most of what you're going to see is Ford stuff. But the guy I got this thing from didn't understand exactly how you started these cars, so he had it where he could spin it over, but he said he couldn't get it to fire and crank. Let me show you this. This is actually kind of funny. So anybody that's had these cars know you've got a switch on the column right here, and then a push button is how you start these cars. Well, he couldn't figure that out, so it's got that switch there, and then right down here, he's got like another ignition switch wired in, trying to figure out how to start the car. But he wired it off this switch, so he's got this whole big loop of some kind of wiring going here. So it's kind of funny. And he's got the and got an aftermarket switch down there, but he's pulled the wires, like he's tied into the wires here. So this switch has to be on to even power that switch. It's weird how he done it, but I understand. I'm not picking on the guy. If you've never done anything like this before, then you probably don't have a clue how that's supposed to work. And it's it's uh it's one of those things that's interesting to see what other people do. Uh, I appreciate that, Auto Hunter. I try to explain what I'm doing. Sometimes I overlook something, but I try to explain everything I'm doing as much as possible. And people have asked me what the plans are with this car. I think just because this car is such a surviving piece of history of how things were done back in the 60s, that I kind of want to experience the car as it is. Like, I want to get the engine fired up and running and go through the brakes. I got to make sure the brakes are okay. And then what I would like to do, I know this is probably not the smartest thing, but I'd like to carry it like Shady Side or somewhere and just run it down the track. I understand this is not going to be a fast car by today's standards, but I would like to experience that full-on 60s feeling of what he felt when he went down the track in this car. So I think it would be fun to do that. And that's kind of what I'm after right now. And then once we do that, then we can start trying to make it something that either we leave it that way and just carry it to somewhere like car shows or something and let people look at what it was really like back in the day, or maybe we improve a couple of things on it that it needs. It needs what it needs, kind of thing. But I have no intentions of doing like a restoration or nothing like that. It would be a great car for that, but my feelings are that history like this only exists one time. You can tell people about how they used to do stuff till you're blue in the face. But if people don't see how it used to be, then they won't understand. Like, you could tell people, hey, back in the day, they used to have this weird transmission. It was an automatic, but had a clutch pedal, and you had to use it. You can tell people that, and they can believe you, but till they look at it, they don't know how to wrap their head around it. So this is a good example of true 60s build that would be great for people to see and understand that technology has come a long way, and the way we do these cars have come a long way, and the reason cars are faster now isn't just all because they're different engines now. Suspensions have changed a long way. Tire technology has changed a long way. It's good to see all these things and understand what really made what real racing history is, and what eventually became today's race cars. And this history only lives one time. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I want to preserve as much of the history of this car as I can. Now, if there is some issue with the engine, if there is some issue with the transmission, and I can't save those things, then we'll probably go back with a small engine and like a 4-speed, because 4-speeds were predominant back then, and it would still be correct, and the rest of the car could still be correct. So I think that would be a good direction to go. Help people understand the importance of. Yeah, I try to help people understand. There's a lot of people out there that's very closed-minded, and they think if you don't have the latest, greatest technology, then you're not putting any effort into it. But somebody has to preserve the history of these old, where it all. I mean, honestly and truly, this car is not heavy. This car probably could still bust off a high 6-second pass in eighth mile. I mean, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's not today's standards, but back in the day, that was lightning. You know what I mean? That was crazy fast. So I mean, it could still be in that ballpark somewhere, and wheels up when it leaves, and just be as cool as that could get. I think these things are just freaking awesome. Let's see. Well, as I said, Clayton, as far as the Chevy motor being in it, it's staying in there right now because of the transmissions in it. I want to experience that clutch flight transmission and experience what that's all about. So, other than that, it would have a Ford motor in it. That's just what I like. Look hard, find 14, 15, 205 centimeters out there. Barely had any sidewalls in them. Uh, yeah. But as I said, the reasoning right now of, I didn't build it, so the reasoning right now of leaving the Chevy motor is to experience that transmission. I think it would be really wild to experience what that transmission is all about. Um, and in here we have the rear bumper. We have the pieces of the fender that got cut. Also have the original radio. He tried to include everything that he had with his car. Here's all the trim pieces for the sides. I need to open the dash and see what's in there. There may be something cool in that dash. But it's just a piece of surviving history right now. I'm blessed to be able to find this thing. If it tells you anything, it tells you that they're still out there. They're not all gone yet. They're not all street rotted. They're not all set on modern chassis. They're not all fully restored. They still exist. They're still out there, and they're still in barns and garages, and they're still around. How much longer? I don't know. Uh, how many more of these things will survive for another, 20, 30 years? I don't know. Um, it, you can say what you want about the car. The car's 80 years old, almost 80 years old. It's like 77 years old. And for it to survive being a race car for the past, well, for it to be a race car that was built, what is that, 50 years ago, something like that. Um, it's, I'm in love with the car. I think it's an awesome, awesome car. I think it's going to make a car. I mean, keep in mind, I was planning on building a gasser out of that, and it's turned into yard art. And it has nothing. There's no frame or nothing of that. That's just sheet metal. I got them there. And that front clip, which is in pretty well great condition other than the grill. The grill's rough on it, but the front clip itself is in great condition. And that front clip will go on to this one. And other than the front clip, I'm not going to change anything on the car right now. Well, that and them orange wheels, because those orange wheels drive me nuts. Um, I'm I'm blessed to own the car. I think it's man, I think it's going to be a great, fun car to hear fire up for the first time. I think it's going to be a great, fun car to take out and make a pass in. And I have actually took a couple spark plugs out and run a bore scope down there. It has flat top pistons in it. The engine has been bored. I can't quite make out the numbers on top of the piston to see what they've been bored. They even had numbers on the pistons at that. Oh, but I can see they're flat. Uh, it may be, it may be a fun little engine. I have no idea. No, I'm not going to put a tilt front end back on it. I'm going to put that other clip back on it and just have a regular hood and all on it, because I don't have any intentions of making this thing a full-time race car. I don't need a tilt front end, and uh, I think I think the car will look better without the front fenders and all butchered up. So I'm just going to put a regular front end on it with a regular hood, and the rest of the car kind of leave the way it is, and I think it'll be okay. I think it'll work out just fine. Uh, I have it was 5488 Oldsmobile, Michigan. Wow, 50 to 54 Oldsmobiles. I don't even know what that body would look like, but it would have to be a very cool car. Have I even seen any 50s Oldsmobiles? I'm trying to think if I've even seen any of them. Actually, no, that's a Buick, not Oldsmobile. Was the Buick and Oldsmobile the same body? There's a guy that used to live around here that had one of the, oh, I don't know, 50. If I had to guess, it was a very similar body style to like a 55 Chevy, but it was a Buick and it had the little portholes on the side fenders. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy. I'm diehard Ford, and if I built the car, it would definitely have a Ford motor and 4 speed in it. But I just want to experience that clutch flight transmission, experience what it's like, and you know, who knows? It may, like you said, it may be pretty quick. It may be a lot of fun to do that. Those things may or may not be any good. I don't know. It depends on how much how much work they need or whatever. But I think it'd be cool to drive it like that. Yes, all the glass is in it. Like I said, when it comes to the glass, all the glass is in it, and it's all in pretty decent condition, except for this one side of the driver's side glass is cracked up pretty bad. But it does not leak. It's been sitting out here in the rain just to see if it'll leak, and it does not leak a drop. The glass is good enough to where the interior is not getting wet at all. It's been raining hard for a couple of days, and it's stayed dry in here. So, yeah, all the glass is in it. This right back here is delaminating a little bit, but it's still in it. And great thing is, as we talked about earlier, it's flat glass, so it can be fixed. Without a doubt, it can be. They actually sell some glass kits online that you can buy uh, in clear or smoke glass. Now, I'm not I'm not planning on buying any glass for it right now because that glass that's in it's good enough to get it up and running. But at some point in time, I may replace those pieces of glass. How cool is that back glass? I ain't really stopped and looked at it, but it's like a big oval. That back window is really cool. They probably can cut a piece of glass. It's flat glass, so it should be easy to cut. Yeah, I never really stopped and looked at the back of that car. That oval shaped piece of glass in the back is really cool. I think it has a really cool appearance from the back. If that rear tire was just a little wider, she'd look awesome, wouldn't it? But again, as I was saying earlier, if you guys have not seen the video where we went and picked this thing up, please go back and watch it. That video shows, as we find stuff on it, shows us getting the car and getting it home. I've got a project in will come before this, but once it's done, we're going to try to fire this thing up and see what we can. 210 body was a lot like a Chieftain, good looking. Yeah, I mean, I love all those old cars, and I'm a sucker for a car with history behind it too. So if there's a story to go with it, I'm really a sucker for it. I bought a unibody Ford one time. The reason I pulled the trigger on the truck because it was a rough old truck. That truck actually ended up being a decent truck, and that truck ended up at Auto Classics in is it Greer? I don't know where Auto Classics is now. I don't remember. I think it's Greer. It ended up there and then sold to some guy out of state. But I bought that truck because when I went and looked at it, we was digging through it, and he said there was some paperwork in the dash, and I opened the dash, and there was a letter from a guy to his son giving him the truck, and that history on that truck, man, that letter sold the truck for me. I had to have it after that. Yeah, it'll be sweet to hear it fire up. I don't know As soon as it fires up, we'll know how rowdy the motor is, right? That's what we're all interested in, I think. Fired up here, how rowdy it is, or if it's an absolute turd that somebody stuck in there, you know. it'll be it'll be. I wish the guy that I got it from hadn't spray painted the motor. I understand why he done it. You know, he's trying to make everything look a little better, but I wish he hadn't. I wish he'd left it the way it was. You could see everything on it, but it is what it is. That's what happens when they change hands, and we do the best we can with them, right? Um, but I'll give you one last look at it before I have to kill this live, mainly because my phone battery's dying. Steve, I pulled one spark plug out and looked in the bore, and I can tell it's got flat top pistons in it, and they've been bored, but I couldn't find any numbers on top of the pistons to see what size piston and all was in it. I don't know if back then they put numbers on pistons. I don't know. So, but the bores look clean. They look like it had not been ran to death. It looked pretty clean. You could still see some faint cross hatching and stuff on the cylinders, but again, that was in that one cylinder wall. So I don't know. I don't know if all the cylinders look like that or not, but that was the one cylinder wall. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the old car. Like I said, guys, if you have not was on us getting this car, get that out, and you can see they are still out there. Uh, I call it a barn find. Technically, I didn't pull it out of the barn. The people I got it from did, but whatever. Um, and yeah, it's pretty solid. It's really solid. You can see a lot of that in that video where we went and picked it up. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, please go watch that video where we went and picked it up. And it's the last full length video I put out. It's about 30 minutes long, I think. Go watch that video. Help that video get views. Share that video if you don't mind. I can't thank you guys enough. The guys that you folks that watch these videos I make it possible for me to do stuff like that, or at least justify me doing stuff like this. So I can't thank you enough. Yeah, well, I've got another nose for it. I got a good 48 front clip for it. I do agree that the back end's nice. Actually, before my phone battery dies, I will say one thing about the back end of these cars that I'm not a big fan of. The 48s are so rounded. Everything's rounded, and then it looks like they stuck a pair of bricks on the back of it for tail lights. So I'm not the biggest fan of the tail lights, but I can drop down to a 40 Ford and the tail lights fit inside the panel. I'm excited. I am really, really excited about this car. So, God bless you guys. I hope you guys have a great evening. Him be the glory. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please go back and watch the video where we went and picked this thing up. It is such an awesome find. Uh, yeah, I got to get that Jeep done so we can all play with this thing. God bless you guys.